Yo, what's good, y'all? Yo, go, you feel the kid? You already know who. Damelocks, all that. Y'all listen, man. They dropped another trailer. That's probably the last trailer. Because I think this thing is close to dropping, right? It looked live, though. So I did wanted to tap in, see what they talking about on the low. You feel me? So y'all just lock in.
I'm with you to the end. Eddie. I'm with you to the end.
And then he crossed over.
This is your captain speaking.
MCU.
If you look out to your left, you'll see a beautiful view of the Grand Canyon.
Why the first
Told you we could fly!
Oh, the so close,
Jesus Christ! We're in deep shit! You're not going to like this.
No, I can absolutely guarantee you I'm not gonna.
My home has found us.
Who sent that thing?
My creator.
This is no. I might really tap in. All
The
right.
symbiotes didn't come here by accident.
I seen the title,
They
but
were
I was like,
running.
I don't even. I thought
What's his
Mercy
name,
was just
then?
trying to hype us up.
No!
I thought he was just trying to hype us up. This is wavy. I might lock in on this movie for sure.
We have something he needs. As long as Venom lives, everything will end.
Oh, baby, it's a while.
We've come a long way, you and me.
What are we doing?
We need a disguise.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
Why do you keep knocking people out? What is wrong with you?
I'm sorry.
This world can't survive if you stay together.
But I need him. Be honest with me. How fast do you think you can get that thing to go without killing it?
I wonder if Venom is their universe.
Oh, this is all the money that we have.
Their universe.
This feeling is like
This feeling?
it's like all of my problems have gone away.
There comes a time in every man's life
Eddie.
where you have to make a sacrifice.
I'm with you to the end.
Venom on the motorcycle. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That's hella deep.
You broke my foot.
Eddie, I need more money.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. Sony and Marvel dropped a brand new Venom: The Last Dance trailer, and they confirm Knull. All our theories we had, we
yeah,
thought this was building up to
clean.
Knull. I wasn't expecting
I
more than like a
wasn't-
tease, but it seems
Nah,
like
that's
he's
hard.
actually critical in the main villain of the actual plot. They
He's
made us
not
think
the
the
plot- he's
xenophage
not-
was going to be the main villain, but now they're saying that Knull controls the xenophage and he needs the Venom character. That probably has something to do with the All Black from the comics. Basically the primal symbiote, so we'll explain it because it sounds like they're going full King in Black during this movie. If you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos.
final
This is actually a
phase.
pretty big deal. If you've been reading the Venom comics
Facts.
recently,
This
it's
is, like,
blown up around the Knull
fairly
character.
recent,
Like
bro.
Venom has become a really big deal the past several years, kind of around the time the first Venom movie started to happen when that became a thing.
Big.
But I think we'd always assumed that Knull was going to be their Thanos-level villain of this Sony Venom verse, like all the Spider-Man spin-off movies outside of
last
the
movie, though, I
MCU. They
wasn't- I
didn't
ain't gonna
have
lie, I wasn't
actual
expecting
Spider-Man
them to
in
do
them.
that. That's hard.
But I guess they're trying to go out in the Venom movies with a bang. So like this is what Knull looks like. Here's the thing though, in the trailer it says he needs something that the Venom symbiote says that they have. The early theory is that Eddie has the primal symbiote, like the Venom symbiote is the primal symbiote, the All Black, so that he can regain his status as King in Black and control all symbiotes, because during the trailer, they also implied that the symbiotes didn't come to planet Earth during the first Venom movie. They actually purposefully were running away from the symbiotes' home planet and from Knull. We even see what looks like the symbiote hive mind here, like all the different connections that I talked about in the previous trailer where they use in the transition titles, like them all forming these tendrils into different forms in the background, forming into a ball. But then this depiction here with the ghostly figures seems like the way they're visualizing the hive mind in a more cosmic sense, like across the multiverse, binding all the different symbiotes to each other. It's part of the whole reason why the Venom symbiote was able to remember Spider-Man as that guy, even though it didn't know Tom Holland had never seen him before. It
Remember my
remembers
son
Spider-Man
Toby.
from the Topher Grace
Facts.
version of Venom across the multiverse because of the hive
Remember
mind.
Toby.
They haven't announced
Alright.
who's playing the Knull character and what's going to happen to him after this movie, because it feels like it would be weird if Venom killed him in this film. Like, he's such a huge character in the comics, it just feels like there's something bigger headed down the road for him. And
He's
even
in
though
the
they keep
Sonyverse,
pitching
though.
this movie as the last Venom movie for Tom Hardy's Venom character, like they're going to have to break up in the movie, that's why it's called The Last Dance, making more Chicago Bulls documentary references, the last time that they're together. Tom Hardy is supposed to continue as the Venom character just outside of Venom solo movies.
In the
I don't know if this
MCU.
means that Knull is going to show up during Secret Wars. It just feels like it's such a huge character. The symbiotes in general, I think that we'll only get some light references.
Maybe Venom,
just
though.
because Kevin Feige has so much of a mess in the MCU that they're trying to clean up with Secret Wars. Like, they have their own problems they're dealing with. Everybody let me know in the comments, do you think the thing that Venom has that Knull wants is the all black? What else could he possibly have that Knull wants? If you haven't read the more recent comics, Donny Cates sort of gets into this deeper Venom lore. It's actually pretty cool stuff. And a lot of it connects with a lot of the other Marvel lore, like Guardians of the Galaxy, the Eternals with the Celestials, even the Thor comics and their lore. Part of the idea is that Knull is a cosmic character, incredibly powerful, that comes from the chaos that existed before the Big Bang. So he comes from this black chaos of nothingness, and he seeks to return the multiverse to that black nothingness. So his whole master plan is to conquer the multiverse eventually. If you remember the dead head of the Celestial nowhere during the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, the comics actually canonize that Knull is the person who beheaded that Celestial. He did so with the All Black, which was a sword that he created from a piece of himself, which was the very first primal symbiote. During a very long comics run, he seeks to regain the All Black, regain his power and control over all symbiotes around the universe. When he's creating the symbiotes, like the symbiotes are all based on pieces of him, essentially. That's why Venom says, "This is my creator." He's literally created from a piece of Knull's body. When Knull started to do that, he also created the symbiote hive mind, connecting them all. It also serves as sort of like an afterlife alternate dimension, which the symbiote's hosts can also get trapped in and then re-emerge from. So for instance, Eddie could theoretically die and then be brought back from the symbiote hive mind. It's a little bit like the Moon Knight series where you see him die, go to the Duat, the Egyptian afterlife, and then come back to the realm of the living. I don't know if they're going to get that trippy during the movie, like we'll see Eddie die and then resurface from the symbiote hive mind, but there's a reason why they're showing that during the movie. Most of the trailer footage implies that they're just going to show the symbiote hive mind to show you Knull controlling or communicating with the symbiote and the xenophage from across the universe from the symbiote's home planet. There was an early plan for Spider-Man No Way Home in case they didn't get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, where Venom was going to be a bigger character during that final fight, and Tom Holland would have gotten the symbiote during that. But they did wind up getting Tobey and Andrew, so they pushed a lot of the Venom crossover for like further on. Like, we'll deal with this in a future movie. We can do this whenever we feel like it. My assumption before seeing all this Knull stuff, like seeing how big and cosmic they're getting in this third Venom movie, is that they would push a lot of the Spider-Man crossover stuff to Secret Wars, just because that's where he got the symbiote was during Secret Wars, but it was the alien costume during that. They retconned it later to be the Venom symbiote. For those of you asking, Toxin is in this movie. He's even more powerful than Venom, more powerful than Carnage. When Patrick Mulligan is speaking to them from behind the glass, that's the symbiote's voice you're hearing, Toxin's voice. One of the bigger changes it seems like they're making to the comics lore is that they're making it seem like Knull is controlling the xenophage and sends them to planet Earth to bring Venom back to him, to his planet. So I think part of the threat in the movie, when you hear Patricia Robertson, the other characters say that the Earth is threatened while you two are together, while Venom is still bonded to Eddie, is the idea that Knull threatens to destroy the Earth to get Venom back, to get the symbiote back. So it sounds like they're trying to separate Eddie in the Venom symbiote so that Knull can get what he wants and hopefully will leave. Probably the real question, though, if Knull is so powerful, will he actually physically come to planet Earth, or is this just a teaser for some huge, bigger team-up that Sony is trying to do in the future?
Oh,
Sort of like Guardians
with
of the
Marvel.
Galaxy or like
Okay.
the Avengers post-credit scene where you see Thanos on his throne, then sort of turn around and start yelling like very menacingly, but he doesn't actually come to planet Earth till Avengers Infinity
I ain't
War
gonna
and
lie.
Avengers Endgame. Is it
I don't
going to be
think
a similar
Sony
situation with a
thinking that
character like
deep.
Knull?
I'm not gonna
Just
cap.
because there is so much new footage in this trailer, starting at the beginning, you see him attached to the side of the plane here. I talked about this earlier. He makes the Tom Cruise joke, like, how does Tom Cruise do this? A joke on all the crazy Mission Impossible stunts that he does. I also explained in my last video how Tom Cruise and Marvel go way, way back. He almost played a couple really big characters. When it says they're
Imagine.
flying over the Grand
Y'all
Canyon, this is
imagine.
probably on his way to Vegas because it does seem like their big fights happen in and around Vegas.
I mean,
When
get
the
Tom
symbiote
Cruise
says, told you we could fly, that's also a joke
my
on
son Dr.
symbiote
Doom.
wings. You also see him form the symbiote
Instead of my
parachute.
son
That might be a
Robert.
prelude to actual symbiote wings. When the symbiote starts to explain his creator, Knull, where he came from, why they ran away from his creator, and you see the symbiote hive mind with all those dead-seeming cosmic-looking symbiotes, like that's the symbiote hive mind. Just because this one looks white, I don't know necessarily that that's meant to be an anti-Venom teaser or anything like that. I think this is just meant to be the way they're visualizing the cosmic connection of the hive mind. There's a
My
very
son,
brief shot of
Agent
Knull
Venom.
on his throne, which is meant to be based on this comic book shot. Very iconic Knull shot. Usually when you see pictures of Knull, this is amongst them. We get a wider shot of a bunch more symbiotes than we saw before. During the earlier trailers, when they were panning across the different symbiotes here, we only saw 2 of them, but now it seems like they have 4, maybe more. Orwell Taylor seems like he learns about Knull from the toxin symbiote inside Patrick Mulligan. We see the xenophage walking around the symbiote's home planet. Notice when Eddie asks what Knull's name is, the symbiote says no, like he's about to say Knull, but says no instead, don't speak it out loud. Sort of like a Voldemort, Harry Potter situation, like don't speak his name out loud because his name carries some power with it. There's that line again, we have something he needs. Like I said, I think that has something to do with the all-black, the primal symbiote. So maybe early
Everyone
theory, we
play.
will see Venom become the King in Black during this movie, or depends on what they're going to do with Knull in the future, if they plan to use him more. It would be a huge bummer
Eddie
if they
gonna
got
lose
rid
his
of him
suit?
after this movie, like he's just too big of a character to do him as a one-and-done kind of thing. Please don't gore the God
Yeah, but
Butcher,
their series
Knull,
is
God
done.
of Symbiotes, during this movie. This dude in Vegas seems like he pisses himself as the symbiote knocks him out and they turn themselves into a symbiote tuxedo. There's a quick
I
montage
he
of the
was keen
symbiotes
on
saying
him.
they've been
That's
through
why
a
he
lot
hit him.
together,
I'm
showing
not gonna
clips
lie.
from the previous Venom movies.
'Cause I would've
Then when
smacked
he's
him.
running from Orwell Taylor and the jury who are trying to capture him, you see the symbiote bond with a fish here, so you get symbiote fish. There were a couple other symbiote
sure.
animals that we saw promos for, like this is a symbiote frog. Somebody call Frog Thor to come deal with this. Maybe someday Marvel will do an animated crossover for some of these crazier animal-themed characters like Alligator Loki, Frog Thor, the Venom Fish, the Frog Venom. There's a longer
Movie,
scene
would
with
I watch
Reese
that, though?
Epon's
That's the
character
real
and this
question.
young character that might be a version of Peter
I
Parker.
don't know,
We
though. I'm
actually
watching
hear
Iron
him
Man,
speak in the
and
trailer now
that's
too. Reese
mildly
Epon's
entertaining
character
now and then.
says sometimes you have to make a sacrifice. Like it sounds like he gives him some sort of wisdom in the movie that helps him deal with the Knull problem. I think the idea is that Eddie is going to try and sacrifice himself, like he'll go with them, they'll try to deal with Knull. But he's so powerful, I hope they find some way for the Knull character to survive into a future, bigger movie. Save him for like a really big
Oh,
Spider-Man
like beat
crossover
him, but
down the
not
road.
beat him.
Hopefully Sony has like much bigger plans
King
for
him.
this. In the trailer, when they literally
Word.
call it the epic conclusion, that's just the Venom solo movie trilogy. That doesn't mean it's the
This
end of the
saga is
Venom
done.
character.
Fact, sure.
The other interesting thing here too is that Reese Ifans does not sound like he's using the same accent that his lizard character used in the Amazing Spider-Man movies or during Spider-Man No Way Home, which is probably why he'll wind up being a completely separate character or like a variant of Dr. Connors that's completely different than the Amazing Spider-Man version of Dr. Connors. Then they just end the trailer on that funny moment of Venom inside the casino trying to win money and smashing Eddie's foot like, I think you broke my foot. Sometimes the jokes in the Venom movies can be hit or miss, but I'm just really interested to see what's happening with this Knull character. Like, it almost raises more questions than it answers. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below and what you
Knull
want them
versus
to
the
do
Venomverse,
with
that's
Knull
funny.
after this movie,
word.
assuming that he does survive the movie.
Like, what's gonna
3
happen?
cheers for Venom, the King in Black. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up. The movie's coming out next
Yo, there's
month, so
mad
we will
stuff
get
out
more
now.
clips.
Not gonna lie, I got
Hopefully,
mad
they will
stuff to
offer
watch.
us some more details
I
about
been
what's
should
actually
check them
going on
out,
with the
but-
characters. Be
Life,
sure to
y'all. I'm
enable
trying to
alerts for
tell
my
y'all.
channel so you don't miss.
All right, Charlie. I'm gonna check you. Yeah, man. Like I was saying, I got mad stuff we gotta tap into. Like Arcane dropped like a week ago. I ain't locked in. Um, what else dropped? I feel like mad stuff dropped. I like off the top of my head, I can't think right now. I'm on the spot, but I feel like a couple stuff did drop. You know what I'm saying? Like Penguin about to drop soon. I hope y'all ready for that. Ain't no cap. I hope y'all ready for that. That's about to be heat, like real heat. Like um, something else dropped. Something else dropped. I can't remember right now. But y'all be safe, man. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna lock in. We gonna talk about this later. Word.